Hi everyone, and welcome today to the meetup, the very first meetup in 2021 of the AWS Budapest Community of Practice. Today, I would like to talk about the next generation SAP on AWS workloads powered by Kubernetes. My name is Norbert Putz, and I'm a senior cloud architect focusing on AWS, Amazon Web Services, and also the squad lead for SAP on AWS at Deutsche Telekom IT Solutions Hungary. This is actually the subsidiary of T-Systems International, so we are actually working on T-System projects. I'm also AWS Certified Solutions Architect, Associate Professional, and also in security. Here you can see actually a QR code. If you scan this QR code, this will forward you to my LinkedIn profile, and then you can find out more about my professional background, education, projects which I have worked on, and much more. If there is a big change you want to make, you don't want to procrastinate. So this is a quote from Andy Jassy, who is the CEO from Amazon Web Services, and actually he will be the CEO of Amazon as well. And I really like this sentence because it really fits to this session today. So because I will talk about SAP on AWS, the next generation of these workloads, and this is actually the right timing for doing these big changes. So that you have currently your setup on-premise, and then moving everything to AWS. Or today I will talk about on AWS because I'm AWS Cloud architect, but it's actually the same for Azure, GCP, Ali Cloud, and so on. So procrastinate, it's actually delay or postpone. So actually what I have told you before, this is the right timing, and let's have a look what we can do with this AWS native services. So the first question actually to you, just as a starter. So what do you think? How many customers run SAP on AWS? And please use the live event Q&A section and just do a rough estimation. So is it, I don't expect exact numbers, but please just guess something. So it's hundreds, it's thousands, it's millions of customers. Or what do you think about? I will wait for some answers in the live event Q&A. So please don't be shy, and please just, there is no bad number or good number. I will show you the results on the next slide. Okay, I'm still waiting, so please don't be shy. So what do you think? How many customers run SAP on AWS? All right, so 12P customers. Okay. Any other answer for my question? Okay, 120. Okay, yeah, that's good guess. 1,000. Yeah, okay. Any other number? I will wait for another answer, and then I will go to the next slide to see the real answer. So please still wait for the third guess. So who will be the third one? Okay, 15,000. Oh, okay, great. All right, let's move on. It's actually 5,000 plus. So an exact number, I also don't have the exact number, because, and also AWS, because this number increased day by day. But it's actually, if you check the AWS website, then you will find this 5,000 plus as a number of active customers run SAP on AWS. And roughly half of them also run SAP HANA in-memory database on AWS. So this is just an appetizer for the session today. And let's have a look at the agenda. So what you can expect today in the next about 20 minutes. So actually, we'll start with why moving to AWS Cloud, then the opportunities for SAP customers, and the Amazon EKS in a nutshell. And then I prepared a demo for you. Yeah, this is actually a surprise still. Let's wait till the end of this session. So, and you probably have a long working day behind you. And I thought that I put a meme always at the beginning of each section, so that you can also have a little bit fun here after this workday. So this is the first one. Yeah, are you sure this is how we get data into the cloud? So here you can see there's this typical IT guy, right? Then there is the CIO with the balloons and the CDs and so on. So this is actually a joke. So we are not moving data like this in the cloud. But let's have a look about the partnership between AWS and SAP. It's actually started in 2008, and this is a beautiful friendship in the last 13 years. And here you can see it started with 2008 with the BW system, the business warehouse system, the RC systems, and then moving forward in 2020, here mid-2019, and there's this launch result for SAP. And later then we can see this AWS backend agent. And here you can see the number of customers. It has been started with tens and hundreds and thousands, and now it's 5,000 plus. And now on this slide, I would like to talk about the launch result for SAP and the AWS backend agent. So actually, let's start with the launch result for SAP. You may probably heard about this kind of service. If you go to the AWS Management Console and type launch result, then you will find immediately the service. It's actually the basic idea behind this launch result for SAP is that you still have some prerequisites. So you have to go to the SAP software download center, download the software, put it on a simple storage service bucket, on an S3 bucket, and then afterwards, AWS guides you through some questions, what we'd like to deploy. It's whether it's an S4HANA installation or an SAP HANA installation. And then even you can choose between production or non-production workloads. But in 2 or 3 hours, you can even get a production-ready SAP HANA high-availability cluster. So AWS takes over this management overhead, installs the software, like in case of a high-availability cluster on SUSE, the SUSE pacemaker software, configures this, and then at the end, you will get a high-availability production-ready SAP HANA database. So this is really a cool thing which can be used by SAP customers on AWS. The second one, which I would like to mention today here on this slide, is the AWS backend agent. So here, you install an agent on your SAP HANA EC2 instance, and then actually you configure the SAP HANA database as well, that it will generate the backup with the help of this agent to an S3 bucket. And if something bad happens with your SAP HANA database, then you can actually recover the database from that S3 bucket. So, so this is actually, here you can see that AWS and SAP really works together, and this partnership is really a fruitful partnership. All right, so the next one, opportunities for SAP customers to become SAP on AWS customers. And here the next meme, I finished studying other companies' cloud migration strategies. Close your eyes and hope for the best seems to be the best to the most popular. So this is a fun and joke again. We have better ways to get into the cloud. So in the next slide, I would like to just give you a short introduction about what kind of ways you can choose to get into the cloud. And I really like this kind of subway map of cloud migration strategies. I found this on this source. So if you open this blog post, you can find exactly the same diagram or this subway map. So it all starts with a discovery phase where you identify all the workloads in your IT landscape. Then then we're moving forward with the assess phase, like investigating the readiness towards the cloud, which migration paths are viable. And the first one, so the first possibility actually is to retire. So here, the red line. Retire means that for the workloads that are not relevant anymore to the business, we can decommission it. So we will not move that workload to the cloud, but thanks to this discovery phase and assess phase, we could identify these workloads or this server that's not relevant anymore for the business. But we can move forward with the migrate path, and we can move forward with rehosting. That's the most common one, actually. It's a typical lift and shift scenario where you move the system as is to the cloud, and most rehosting can be automated with tools like AWS VM import export or AWS Cloud Endure. And some customers prefer to do this manually as they learn how to apply their legacy system to the new cloud platform. Yeah, moving forward, so this was the rehost path, so the orange line. And then let's have a look at the repurchase, so the purple line here on the top. That means that some applications are not compatible with the cloud platform, therefore it might be sometimes be interesting to purchase another software suite. An example can be, for example, you have a legacy content management system and you change this to Drupal, and then you have this Drupal solution in the cloud. Replatforming, here the yellow one is actually here. An example can be to reduce the amount of time you spend managing database instances by migrating to a database as a service platform like Amazon Relational Database Service, RDS. Today, in the demo, I also will use RDS where I will have my database. So here you can see replatforming. The database, the content of the database can be migrated with the AWS Database Migration Service, DMS, and then you can use the RDS service to have this managed database on AWS. And now let's have a short introduction to re-architecting. That's actually this gives the most fun to a cloud architect like me, because here in this case, we are talking about so that we can reimagine how the application is architected and developed using cloud native features. This is driven by a strong business need to add features, scale, or performance that would otherwise be difficult to achieve in this application's existing environment. And this strategy tends to be the most expensive, but it can also be the most beneficial if you have a good product market fit. So, and now actually I'm also involved in one of re-auditing project where the customer has a security appliance solution, and the customer decided to move the whole data center to AWS. We as T-Systems help the customer to get to the cloud, and now I'm working on creating a POC where we identify the points which can be actually where we can use AWS Cloud Native Services to have actually the same functionality just like this security appliance. All right, and if you see here, every pass ends with the validation and the transition and the go live phase. So validation is actually to check, test, everything is fine according to your expectations and specifications. Transition, never forget to ensure that your operational team is ready before the go live, and then go live is actually this happy moment. Then that's after everything's worked. All right, so this is actually just in a nutshell. So let's come to the next part, and this is Amazon EKS in a nutshell. So this is the managed Kubernetes service powered by AWS, and today this is a Kubernetes focused talk. So I thought that I will give you a short introduction to EKS, why it's good, why customers should use it or consider to use it. Here, a meme again. My dad says the cloud is the answer to everything miss. And there is the teacher, the student, the test, and cloud, cloud, cloud. So this is actually also what we can see on the next slide. I will tell you how you can use the managed Kubernetes service in the cloud. But before going into more details about EKS, I was looking for a research, and I found nucleusresearch.com about containers on AWS in general. So here are some facts regarding this research, and here you can see the source, nucleusresearch.com. You can also read that research paper through. So that research says, or the analyst says, that 80% of all containerized applications running in the cloud run on AWS. They analyzed the workloads, and they actually came to the conclusion that 150% year-on-year growth of AWS container services. It's not just AKS, but we have also Amazon Elastic Container Service as well. And they came to the conclusion that there's 10 times EKS usage growth in 1 year and 3 times Fargate usage growth in 1 year. That means roughly 100 million tasks running every week. If you haven't heard about AWS Fargate, it's actually a technology that provides on-demand right-size compute capacity for containers. With AWS Fargate, you no longer have to provision, configure, or scale groups of virtual machines to run containers. So AWS takes over this management overhead, and you can only focus on your application, on your containers. Here are 2 billion plus weekly pools using Elastic Container Registry, ECR. So later in the demo, you will also see that I also used ECR, where I had my repository and where I pushed my Docker container, and I will show you how this looks like in the reality. All right, I will check the questions, whether you have any questions so far. I don't see any questions in the live event Q&A. If you have any questions, please just post it to this live event Q&A, and yeah, I will check this and try and do my best to answer your question. Okay, EKS, so Elastic Kubernetes Services. So EKS in general, it runs upstream open source version of Kubernetes. Currently, the latest versions 1.19 and 6. And EKS runs the Kubernetes control plane across multiple AWS availability zones, automatically detects and replaces unhealthy control plane nodes, and provides on-demand zero downtime upgrades and patching. And with EKS managed node groups, you don't need to separately provision compute capacity to scale your Kubernetes applications. And you have the choice between AWS Fargate and EC2. So Fargate, I already mentioned, this is the very innovative solution by AWS to have on-demand serverless compute resources. And Amazon EC2, you probably heard about EC2. That's the Elastic Compute Cloud. That's the virtual machine service by AWS. But you also have the possibility to run containers on EC2 spot instances to reduce your cost for more efficiency. If you haven't heard about EC2 spot instances, they are actually just unused EC2 instances that is available for less than the on-demand price, because spot instances enable you to request unused EC2 instances at steep discounts. You can lower your Amazon EC2 cost significantly. So it's really worth to think about it, to use EC2 spot instances. And finally, EKS automatically applies the latest security patches to your cluster control plane, which is very convenient, and so that you have a managed service, you don't have to take care about those security patches to be applied. All right, so we are really good with the time. We still have about 10 minutes for the demo. But before going to the demo, yeah, here the last meme. Let's check the meme first. So being a cloud was such a carefree existence. Now people expect so much from us. Here you can see the cloud. It's a therapy, and yeah, it's like a joke again. So as mentioned, it's showtime now, and actually the demo is based on a very good AWS for SAP blog post, which has the title Kubernetes and the Path to Cloud Native Application, an example with SAP Commerce. And this is an SAP on AWS talk, so I will deploy, actually I have already deployed an SAP Commerce solution to AWS, and you will see this the recording of this deployment. The deployment took 42 minutes, and this whole talk is actually about 30 minutes in total. So I recorded it for you, and sometimes I will fast forward in the recording, but you will get the general overview about what steps I've done to make this happen and make this solution work in AWS. If you are interested about this blog post, it's really I really recommend to read this through. Here I've created a tiny URL link for you. So it's tinyurl.com/SAP-K8s. And then it will forward you to this very good blog post. All right, and now it's demo time. So as mentioned, I have had this recording here with me, and I will fast forward sometimes. Now here you can see that I'm here in a Cloud Shell. It's actually a kind of new service, a new tool by AWS, where you get an Amazon Linux 2 based small virtual machine with 1 GB persistent storage, where you have sudo permissions, so you can also install softwares like I'm here doing and installing the AWS CDK. So the CDK is the Cloud Development Kit, which I will use to have this solution work. And here you can see I can also clone here for today. I will use an AWS samples repository where I have my SAP Commerce solution. So you can find this also in the blog post. All right, so the next step is just installing some more packages, and then after that we can move forward with the synth command. So the CDK synth is actually the AWS CDK apps are effectively only a definition of your infrastructure using code. When CDK apps are executed, they produce it's called synthesize an AWS CloudFormation template for each stack defined in your application. And here you can see it has been so the CDK, VPC, RDS, and EKS CloudFormation stacks will be created. Here you can see the bootstrapping. I will pause a little bit. CDK bootstrap, and here you can see that's my AWS account ID, and this is my region, Northern Virginia, US East 1. A CDK bootstrap is actually the first time you deploy an AWS CDK app into an environment. So account the region, you'll need to install a bootstrap stack. This stack includes resources that are needed for the toolkit's operation. For example, the stack includes an S3 bucket that is used to store template and assets during the deployment process. And you will see here, I play it again. So here with the bootstrapping, you will see the feedback from the CloudFormation service that I knew here. You can see create in progress, right? So it's here we can see that an S3 bucket will be created, and also a bucket policy will be also created and attached to the bucket. And this takes a little bit of time. Here you can see 0 out of 3. This is 3 tasks, so 3 tasks is actually defined. So it's actually now creating the bucket policy, and here it's finalized already. So we are good to go with the bootstrapping. So now we can move forward with the deployment. So I just do CDK deploy --o, and then we can start with the first CloudFormation template, launch the first CloudFormation template. This is VPC. So I don't have to define it. I can define actually to do first the VPC, then the RDS or the EKS. But if you put this -- all, then actually it will be deployed without your manual interaction. So here you can see and the CloudFormation stack again. And now just to show you that it's really the magic happens in CloudFormation, I just go to the CloudFormation service, and here you can see the stack which I showed you before. This is the CDK toolkit. This is the bootstrapping CloudFormation template, and as mentioned, it has created an S3 bucket and the bucket policy, which you can see here in the resources and outputs. And then here I'm fast forwarding a little bit. So here just showing you that the CDK VPC CloudFormation stack is currently in progress state. And here I can also double check, okay, now, for example, NAT gateways will be created. And then here I can see the same events in the CloudFormation console. All right, so here, yeah, I can see that this is currently created in progress. And then actually I can show you here the S3 bucket, which has been created by the bootstrapping. So here you can see it's currently not yet filled. It will be filled with the EKS stack. Once we are ready with the VPC, then we can move forward with the RDS stack. So now here you can see the RDS stack is just started. And in the meantime, I'm double checking actually what I have created with this tool with CDK. Actually, I have created a VPC with the CIDL block 10.20.004/16. And here I can see also the root table settings, subnets, and all what is needed for my stack, for my solution. So now here, actually the RDS is created, and then we can move forward with the EKS stack. And then it takes a little bit of time. So let's just fast forward in the solution. And in the meantime, I already mentioned Cloud Shell, but actually it's really, I would like to make marketing for this Cloud Shell because it's really a great tool. So it's free of charge. Here you can see no cost, and you get actually a small virtual machine with super permissions in your management console. So you there you can do anything. Actually, and it's a browser-based solution. So and also some pre-installed softwares like CLI, ECS CLI, SAM CLI, and all the great tools what is needed. If you cannot find anything, if you cannot find some applications, then you can actually install it because you have pseudo permissions. In the meantime, my solution is actually a TypeScript-based solution, so it's written in TypeScript. Then with the help of CDK, it will be translated to a CloudFormation template, and then this CloudFormation template as infrastructure as code will be deployed in AWS. And this is actually just an example for the EKS stack, how it looks like in the reality. Here, this is my repository, which I have mentioned to you. This is an ECR. And here I have my Docker image tagged with latest. Yes, and here again, just double checking the resources which I have created. And actually, at the end, we will have a working solution, which I would like to show you here on the next recording. So this is actually the final result. So at the end of this deployment, you get this welcome page of this SAP Commerce solution. And now I'm here in the EKS console, where I'm just double checking the cluster. Here I have my nodes, the node groups, and also here I have the networking settings. And if I go to the auto-scaling groups, I have here my auto-scaling group with desired 2 and maximum capacity of 8. And if I check the instance management, I can see that I have already 2 running C52X large instance, which is ready to to serve the requests for this SAP Commerce solution. Here, the load balancer, I have here the load balancer. I have also the instances in service, they're all healthy, which is good. I have also a listener, which then here the listener on port 8088. And finally, what I wanted to show you that, yeah, there is this magic behind this, but at the end, we still have virtual machines behind the scene or under the hood. Here I'm in the EC2 dashboard, and here you can see the two instances with the private IP addresses. So what you have seen, what kind of AWS services I used for this demo. I said Elastic Container Repository for storing the Docker image, Kubernetes service. This is a Kubernetes based solution. RDS, and this is the Aurora serverless database I have used. It's actually supported by SAP since 2017. I've used also Elastic Load Balancer, auto-scaling groups, and the whole solution has been deployed in a virtual private cloud. I used Cloud Development Kit. The coding was written in TypeScript, and with the help of Cloud Development Kit, we have generated CloudFormation templates, which actually we have used the approach infrastructure as code, and the whole sync has been done actually in Cloud Shell. So conclusion, actually, in general, in 160 lines of code, we could deploy a simplified SAP Commerce application in a Kubernetes cluster. And with that example, I could demonstrate to you how far AWS has come to help customers to reduce the undifferentiated yet all-important heavy lifting needed to create and operate a web application. And finally, actually, if you liked what I have done and you are really a Kubernetes guru, then here at the Deutsche Telekom IT Solutions Hungary, we are looking for talent. And currently we have an open position, Kubernetes specialist focusing on AWS here in Budapest. And I have created also the tiny URL link for you. So if you just open this tiny URL link, tinyurl.com/AWS-K8S-specialist, then you will be forwarded to this open position. Or you can scan this QR code, and then it will also forward you to the job posting. So here you can see we are looking for a real Kubernetes Superman and Superwoman. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention today. And this is the last meme for today. So I was hoping a slightly more detailed explanation of how cloud computing works, then it's magic. So with that, I would like to thank you for your attention and that you were here. And if you have any questions, actually, then we still have some minutes. I can see some questions. Are there free tier learning possibilities in this topic? Usually SAP licenses are quite restrictive for learning purpose. Yeah, I have good news for you. So SAP has the Cloud Appliance Library. You can access Cloud Appliance Library with cal.sap.com. So like Cloud Appliance Library. And then you can actually register yourself free of charge. And then if you have an AWS account, then there you can also deploy SAP solutions like a BW for HANA or an S4 HANA or just a normal NetWeaver installation. You have to define which account. So you need to create IAM user, and then actually you have to create an access key and secret access key. This should be provided in the Cloud Appliance Library console. And then SAP takes over this management overhead and installs the SAP servers in your AWS account. I hope, Peter, I could answer your question. Next one. During the POC, I tried to search to read on Kubernetes on Amazon sites, but I was not successful. Could you please help me here with some URLs? Yeah, so actually, currently I don't have a URL, but if you write me an email, in a LinkedIn email, I can look for you in this topic. Actually, I found this topic on the AWS for SAP blog post, and in the blog section, But if you, I don't know, so I think there are some articles about Kubernetes on AWS. Please try with EKS, because that's the managed EKS, the managed Kubernetes service by AWS. Let's try in Google EKS and AWS, and I think you will find really good documentation on this. This is a demo how to run generic stateless application container plus RDS-DB. Everything SAP specifies is inside container. Is the idea that SAP will provide us patching of image, ET, and so on. And everything in SAP is configured manually and stored into DB. Okay, so yeah, let's make this clear. So this was actually just one example. So this is SAP Commerce solution. It's ready for Kubernetes clusters and with this RDS solution. So this depends on the solution what you deploy. SAP will not provide you actually the text. You will be still responsible for patching and so on. So this is actually putting something in the container is actually doesn't really mean that this AWS takes over the management of your SAP landscape or something like this. This here you still have to think about this is still running on some virtual machines, whether it's Fargate, whether it's provided by AWS, like a serverless on-demand virtual machines, or on normal EC2 instances. And so that's the last question. I hope I could answer all of your questions. If you don't have any question, then I really would like to thank you for the attention today and for all the questions. If you still have some questions afterwards, just please add me on LinkedIn, and you can write me a LinkedIn email, and I will do my best to answer your question. So with that, have a great evening, and bye.